Hi everyone, it's Steffi and welcome back to my channel and another episode of the Corona Chronicles. Today is Friday. You guys will probably see this on Friday or Saturday. Carter is actually gone right now to better days. He won't be home till like 7 and Maddox is with his dad. So it's just me. I just got done with work a little while ago. And I don't know what to do with myself right now, so I thought I might as well do my vlog and get this done. So that's what we are going to do. Today was an okay day. It was kind of uneventful. It rained this morning, but hopefully it'll be a good weekend. I'm hoping Carter wants to go do something. I don't know what we're going to end up doing because I don't know what's all open. And a lot of times if you look on Google or whatever, it'll tell you a place is open because it said it was still open from before. So it doesn't like say because of the coronavirus it's closed or anything. So I might have to make some phone calls tomorrow and figure that out. I'm not really sure, but we will see. But I should be kid-free on Sundays, so that's probably going to be my day to clean and cook and do all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's roll the clips. Hi everyone. So it is Tuesday night. There is a couple things I wanted to report on. It was a very hot day today. Got to be like 90 degrees outside, so I have all the fans going. So if you can't hear me very well, I do apologize, but I need the fan right here. It's right here because it is just way too hot. I think I have sweated most of my makeup off. As you can see, it's just really hot in here. And I don't care how much powder you wear on your face. If you're in a house that's like 85 degrees, you're just going to get hot. So I'm still trying to work on getting the air conditioning together. But we'll see what happens with that. So Sunday night there was some protesting going on. Well, Sunday afternoon there was protesting going on one of the bridges in Green Bay. It was a very peaceful protest where they were laying on the bridge with their hands behind their back, you know, the same way that George Floyd was, kind of just. Also there was some picketing going on and things like that. And then towards the night a riot started, and Andy actually witnessed part of this riot because where he lives is kind of close to that area. And all these cop cars showed up and there were people just like running everywhere. And then I've seen videos, and you guys can look these up on your own, they're everywhere, but there's videos of people trying to loot and vandalize a gas station. Also with work, I have officially 3 of my ATMs that were damaged due to attempted thefts. None of them actually resulted in a theft, but somebody did try. So also there are some Walmarts in big city areas that are closing due to everything, all the rioting going on. They will be closed. I know our Walmart here, they had put pallets in front of the doors in the nighttime, and now we do have a curfew set for the evenings for a couple days. And the president has sent out the National Guard. So it's kind of one of those situations where everything is kind of like chaotic right now, and supposedly there is a group coming to Green Bay tonight to do some vandalism, but I'm sure that the police will be on top of that. I am going to be watching the news more to kind of stay in the know of what's going on so I can keep reporting on these things for you guys, because Facebook just doesn't have a lot of information in regards to things with our city. Exactly, there's a little bit, but there isn't much. So I'm going to try to stay on top of that. I do know that last night 5 protesters were arrested for violating the curfew after they refused to go home. The police did give them the option to leave, and they chose not to. They would rather be arrested. Pretty dumb. So that's been going on. I'm hoping to get the kids their pool this week, but we will see. It's just going to be hot the next couple days. So I want to make sure that they are cool enough with a pool that would help. Also, we do have a wasp nest in between our two front doors. So there's the screen door and then there's the main door, and in between those is a hornet's nest. So Andy is going to bring over some hornet spray and take care of that for me, because I am, as you guys have seen, I am terrified of bees, and I can't with that shit. I fucking can't. So he's going to be helping out with that, and hopefully then they will be gone, but I'm sure they will come back. I just wish they wouldn't build in that spot because it's in the middle of a door. I need some water. It is very hot in here. Usually I drink 3 of these a day. When it's really hot out, I know that it's a lot of water, but if I don't, I will get a headache. So that's pretty much what's been going on. Also, some more of my Amazon stuff came in. I did get my wig, which is a long red wig. I think it's like this long. And I want to play with it and try it on and things, but honestly, it's so hot. Girl, I ain't got time to play with hair right now. It needs to cool down before I can do that. So one day you guys will see the wig, but it's not going to be today. It still has the whole lace front on it. I haven't cut it down or anything. I did put it on my head, but I had a ponytail in, so it didn't really fit right. But I'm hoping once I have my hair slicked back and down that I can get the wig on properly. Mind you, it was just a wig from Amazon. This is my first wig, people. I'm just trying it out to see if this is my new jam, because I really don't get any time to do hair. So if I could just wear wigs instead. I know a lot of people do that, especially people that have unmanageable hair. Like, my hair is very thick. It gets very frizzy, as you can see, and it's actually a real big mess right now. Like, this whole top part right here is a huge mess. We have a weather alert coming through on the TV. There's supposed to be a thunderstorm coming through, but I'm hoping it comes through like after I'm asleep, so I don't really have to deal with it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I put all of our cookies in the fridge so that they don't melt because it's so hot out. I made M&M sugar cookies, and if I would have left them out, they would have melted. But now they're really cold, and they aren't really that good because they're hard. But there's nothing I can do, you know. So I'm going to get back to watching MasterChef and chill in front of this fan and watch the news for a little bit and then go to bed. So see you guys later. This is my sad attempt at filling up my pool. I got most of it, but that big tube takes a shop vac and I don't have one. Help. Okay, so a little bit of help from my mom with an air pump, and we did get the pool inflated, so all is fixed. Hi everybody. So it is Thursday night. Tomorrow is finally Friday. So I know my face looks really greasy right now. It was kind of hot today. My makeup has pretty much sweated itself off, but I did this really pretty eye look with some glitter and this purple lip, so I kind of just wanted to show that off. But we went to Andy's house. I have some footage of the kittens. We have officially named them. The all gray one is named Smokey, and the white and gray one is named Cheeto. We named him that after Chester the Cheeto from the brand Cheetos, because he is very fast, and Chester on the brand of the Cheetos is... Oh God. So like I was saying, we named the other cat that because Chester is a cheetah, which is very fast, and Cheeto actually moves really fast. So I thought the name was fitting. So I named him, Andy named Smokey, and hopefully we'll be able to bring them to the Humane Society, but it does cost some money if you do drop off kittens with them. But I feel like it's the best option for these kittens because we can't keep them. We have 4 cats, so it's just too much. But we went over there for a little while. Maddox is with his dad now. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Maddox's dad and Andy live in the same building, so it's easier for us to do drop-offs when we just go over there, because then we can just run Maddox downstairs and nobody has to drive anywhere. But I'm like kind of concerned with this glitter. Like when I take it off, is it going to get all over my face? I don't know. It is late. It's almost 11. So that's usually the time I go to bed. So it's been a late night, but I did get to spend some time with Andy, so that's good because I'm on call next weekend and that's his weekend off. So I don't know how much time we're going to get to really spend together, but we'll see. Hello, ma'am. Can I help you? Would you like to be on camera and show everybody your pretty face? She does not like to be held. But she's letting me do it, aren't you? Yeah. Are you a good girl? Are you being a good girl? And she's done. Okay, I'm gonna try to take this off and then we'll see how much glitter ends up all over my face. But I'm gonna try this. I want to try it on camera. I have cat hair all over my face now, but I want to try this on camera. Okay, so the glitter actually did come off okay. I'm not really seeing any still left on my face, which is surprising, but yeah. Tomorrow is Friday. Maddox is gone. Carter is going to get picked up most likely on Saturday. So that's it. We'll see. It should be an uneventful weekend, but we'll see. If Goodwill's open, I'm going to hit them up. So it just depends, but we'll see how it goes. Look at how cute this is.
That's so cool.
You're so cute.
Oh my gosh. Cutest thing ever.
I think the kitty's getting scared.
Yep.
You get the other.
No, I can't get the other one.
Let's look.
What's one like
Hi.
Disney?
Oh, look at how sweet you are.
Smokey.
Hi, Smokey.
She's going under there.
Oh, guys.
It's amazing how big they get within a couple weeks.
this?
Look at this.
Yeah, move it.
This is
He's
the other
coming out.
kitty. I'm trying to keep this one here from
Falling over.
running away.
Maddox, watch the great
No,
cat.
no, go, go, go.
That means watch it so it don't fall off the bed.
You are so cute.
Hi, Smokey. Smokey's pretty good.
What do you call him? Cupcake.
I don't have a name for him.
Pokia.
Because it's a boy.
Pokia.
What should we name that one?
Pokia. Pokia.
How about we should...
Hey you guys, so I just wanted to show you Boo. So she's the mother of the kittens. This is what she looks like. She's very sweet, but I don't think I've ever shown a video of her. And this is her 4th litter, and I think she did a real good job. Right, Boo Bear? She's watching something. She's busy. Alright, so it is that time to get into facts and things. Sorry that I can't have the light on, but I do need my phone. So until I get a ring light, that's what we're dealing with right now. And actually, I think this is the first time I've recorded my vlog and then done this end portion of the video together, because I haven't been able to do that because I'm usually way too busy. Okay, so I think we're starting right here. So this was Sunday night, Walnut and Monroe Marathon. Reports of looting and shots being fired earlier. Unknown injuries, police in parking lot and blocking Monroe. Many officers on scene. Green Bay Police Department, Swamico Police Department, De Pere Police Department, Howard Police Department, State Patrol, and Brown County Sheriff Department. There was also a vehicle, officers in riot gear, helmets, vests, etc. It appears there was also a police drone in the sky over the area. 11:53 p.m. Items are being thrown at the officers. They are also speaking of being sprayed, bottles of water, as well as glass bottles. So I did kind of touch on this a little bit before when I said that, you know, there was some looting and rioting going on, but I didn't really get into it. I know that the cops did have rubber bullets and tear gas, and they were using these things to keep everything under control. So that was Sunday. So now we're Monday, second day of Green Bay protests damaged businesses along the route. So if you go downtown, anywhere near the courthouse, really most of those places, or even on the other side of Main Street Bridge, there's a lot of storefronts that are glass. And I personally didn't drive down there. I probably should have just taken a drive down there, but I didn't. So I don't know if they were all boarded up or whatever, but I know there was some damage. Oh, so then this is, I believe, still from Sunday. What started out as peaceful protests in downtown Green Bay Sunday night ended with damaged businesses along the route. The protests, believed to be connected to the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, began around 9 p.m. At about 11:30 p.m., participants, okay, I already talked about that. But what they're doing at the gas. One person was seen throwing a trash can at a parked police vehicle in the area. Many other local businesses sustained various forms of vandalism. I'm just trying to see. There's like a lot of commentary on here, but that's pretty much. Hello? That's pretty much it. So moving along. Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago got broken into. They set all the animals free in the street. So there's like pictures of like giraffes and tigers and elephants just walking around Chicago, which is honestly pretty terrifying because if you're anything like me, if it has 4 feet and it's bigger than me, I'm terrified of it. Horses, giraffes, I don't care what it is. Don't get it close to me. It will run me over and trample me. I don't want anything to do with it. Like, girl, that's like where I'm at with this. So is Corona over or is it halftime? It's just kind of a funny meme I forgot. I found. It seems to be that everybody has kind of forgot about the coronavirus for right now because they are so consumed with all these riots and Black Lives Matter and that whole movement. And there's been a lot of good things that have came out of that. So they have reopened Brianna's case. I'm not sure of her last name, but they have reopened her case. And I believe I have it in here about the other officers. So we'll see. If I don't, I'll get to it at the end. But I don't want to spoil anything. So then Monday we started with a curfew around Green Bay. This curfew actually was extended until next Monday. So it starts at 9 o'clock, it ends at 6 o'clock. It's for large groups of people who will be protesting. If you are just an individual and you're driving around or doing whatever, you are fine. You're allowed to do that. Or like if you and your friend are going bar hopping, that's allowed. It's just not allowed for you to be assembling in large groups to do protests because it could lead to riots. So that's what they're trying to prevent here. Jesus. So I didn't see a fact check on this, so I'm not sure if this is true, but I'm going to read it to you anyway. Who is this from? This is just from a person. Officer Cody Holt, Grand Forks PD, was murdered yesterday, which would have been Sunday, by Salama Pendleton, yet most people don't even know what happened. This is because it doesn't fit the narrative that the media are pushing. Human lives matter. And I do agree equally all human lives matter, but I am a little bit biased because Maddox is partially Hispanic, so I do worry for the safety of my child. And the safety of my child is more important to me than the safety of an officer that I don't know. And that may sound wrong, but I'm a mother first, so I have to think about my children. So if I had to pick, I would definitely pick my kids, but that's not really any type of scenario we're dealing with here. That's just kind of me just speaking my piece, I guess. It is very sad what happened to this officer, though. But with everything going on, these officers know every day they could get shot and killed. So they are putting themselves in the line of fire. And it may be wrong what this person did to him, but that's kind of what you sign up for. So, I mean, I don't get along really good with cops. I don't like authority figures in general. So for me, it's just kind of like they're not my friends. So I guess I'm a little bit biased on this. Sorry, guys. I can't be nice all the time, can I? Okay, so here's the conspiracy theory with this George Floyd murder, okay? Just listen to this. Some of the stuff that I find is a little bit cockamamie and weird, but this makes just way too much sense. So I'm going to read you this. So what are the odds that a white cop stares into an HD camera for 8 minutes while kneeling on the neck of a black man that he knew and worked with for 17 years as the life slowly drains from him and he begs for mercy, all for the DA to announce no charges, fomenting a race war that burned down an American city? Coincidentally, at the exact same time, the entire country is trying to figure out that the HWO and CDC lied and we shut down the country and put 1 in 4 Americans out of work over a flu virus with a 99.8 survival rate. Okay, so I'm going to pick this apart. So we have already determined that this was cell phone footage. So this was not an HD camera. I mean, the putting it together this way, it sounds like a good conspiracy theory, doesn't it? But let's pick it apart and not be sheep, because if all you do is see memes, repost memes, and keep thinking this way without fact-checking things or using your brain, you are a sheep, pretty much. And you're following what the media wants you to do. They want to scare you. They want you to stay in your homes. And they want you to do exactly what they want you to do. So if you're going to follow through with everything they do and become brainwashed and not think for yourself, you know what I mean? Like, hello. Okay, so, well, hello, Bella. Bella decided to pop up right here. She's been waiting for me to get done with work all day. All right, so we've already determined it wasn't an HD camera. It was cell phone footage. And then where it says for 8 minutes, that time frame is also wrong, because we know the total amount of time was 13 to 14 minutes. So it was, I believe, 8 minutes that Chauvin was kneeling on Floyd's neck before he died, but it was actually a longer period of time than that. So the time is wrong. And as for him knowing and working with Floyd, I don't believe that is possible, because George Floyd was unemployed, and I don't really know too much about him, but their lives just didn't jive well together. I do know the whole reason why he was arrested was for using a counterfeit $20 bill. So that is not somebody that a police officer is going to hang around with, just in my thinking. And as for the DA not announcing charges, they did announce charges. So that is another part of this that needs to be debunked. And fomenting a race war. This is not a race war. This is an issue with the society against the police on the issue of civil rights. So this is more, instead of it being a race war, it's more of a civil war against the police officers and the citizens of the United States. So that's also wrong. As for the HWO and the CDC lying, it could be, but a lot of stuff that happens with government agencies isn't brought up in public and isn't shared with us. And they say it's to protect us. It could be, it could not be. But as for them lying to us, they could have lied to us about a number of things, and the government lies to us all the time. How many years did they lie to us about aliens, and now they're finally sending out footage and showing everybody that we have UFOs? We already knew about this in the 70s. Like, if you're really going to believe, you just got to understand the government lies to you and will try to fuck you every way they can. And that's just it. If you're just shocked that the government lied to you, I don't know what to tell you, because that's just the way our government is. I mean, they're all corrupt. All of them. They all are in money laundering and things like that, and all kinds of Ponzi schemes and things like that. And you guys don't even know. It's crazy, but you should know. You should look it up and see, because so you don't believe stuff like this, because it's a good conspiracy theory, but also over a flu virus. Okay, the coronavirus and the flu are two different things, because the flu is the nickname for, hold on, let me think about this. The flu is the nickname for influenza virus. Okay? So coronavirus is the nickname for COVID-19. There is a difference between the two. Okay? Just so we make that clear. There are different coronaviruses, but that's a whole different category. So don't say this is a flu virus, because it's not. It's a coronavirus. And it's not the only coronavirus. It's one of many in the family of coronaviruses. People are so uneducated. I can't. If you're going to delve into this stuff, please use Google, use a dictionary, use YouTube, look shit up, look up definitions, really figure out what you're doing before you just start posting a bunch of bullshit, because you look like an ignorant idiot. And then as for the 99.8 survival rate, I'm not really sure what the rate of survival is. I know it is similar to the flu, where there's only a 4% chance that people are contracting it. I just think that maybe with the timing of everything, and with it being, winter into spring, it's a little bit different than our usual flu season, which starts in fall and usually ends in the middle of winter. So with those different areas of the seasons and stuff, I think that had something to do with it. So I don't really think it has a higher rate of contraction than the flu, but it is not the flu. So just so we can debunk that whole thing, I know you guys wanted to believe this conspiracy theory, but I don't believe that Chauvin and Floyd knew each other. I really don't. But we do know Chauvin is a pretty corrupt individual, and he does have a lot of complaints against him for brutality already. And as I spoke about last week, I think he should have been canned and jailed with the first offense. That's what they should have did right away. The DA should have just did that right away. But, hopefully now things will change. Moving on, because we're on Monday and we're already like 15 minutes into this. Jesus H. Okay. So this is just about the curfew, but it was extended, so I'm not going to get into this really. But I just kind of told you guys what it was. The National Guard was stationed outside the police department on Monday night. 5 people were arrested for breaking the curfew that night after they were given the option to go home. I already spoke on this. I'm not going to get into it. So this is a picture of what our local Walmart looked like at 8 o'clock at night on Monday. So as you can see, all of these right here, these are pallets with product in front of the glass doors so that people couldn't break the doors and destroy them. So that's what Walmart had did, and it looks like they even did that on the inside of the doors. So somebody working at Walmart must have obtained these photos, because I don't know how else you would unless you worked there if it was closed. And then this is interesting. So I just discovered this. I didn't fact check it, but it's something that I want to learn about, because I didn't know about this. But in Wisconsin, we have something called a castle doctrine. You may already know what that is. But if you don't, it's also known as castle law or defense of habitation law. Is a legal doctrine that designates a person's abode or any legally occupied space, for example, a vehicle or home, as a place in which that person has protections and immunities permitting one, in certain circumstances, to use force up to including deadly force to defend oneself against an intruder, free from legal prosecution for the consequences of force use. And then there's a quote down here. The locks are for your safety, not mine. Any glass breaks and the next thing you will hear will not be a warning shot. So pretty much what this is saying is, if somebody were to break into my house right now, I could use whatever force necessary to get them out of my house and away from me. And if they didn't stop attacking me and started to get really violent with me, I could kill them for, putting me in harm's way. So that's pretty much what that is saying. I think it's a little bit extreme, but you never know. With all these riots going on, there were Facebook groups talking about burning down houses. If somebody throws a Molotov cocktail in my house, I'm throwing it back out my house, okay? I'm not going to sit there and let it explode. And then I'm going to go kick your ass. I'm just telling you what I would do. And I have a feeling the police would, well, I don't really know about the police, but I have a feeling the attorneys and the DA would understand because of the Castle Doctrine. Okay? Okay. So Monday night there was no rioting after those 5 individuals were arrested. And this is interesting. So this goes back to Chicago, and this is actually from Twitter. The black man riding the horse in the Chicago protest did not steal the horse from the police. He's an equestrian and he owns that horse. He's well known around Chicago. Y'all took one look at that man and his animal and assumed he was a criminal, and that is the fucking problem. So if you don't know what an equestrian is, it's pretty much just somebody that owns a horse. That's pretty much what it is. And a lot of people use equestrian therapy, which is like riding horses to help them get over their fears and just to kind of like get rid of anxiety and things like that. It's a whole thing. I had the option to introduce my kids into it, but I would have had to drive quite a ways. I think it was like 40 minutes to an hour for these equestrian therapy sessions. But our insurance would have covered it. But it's just, that's the only reason why I know what that is. Otherwise, I would have been like, what the hell's an equestrian? And I would have had to ask Siri about it. But yes, that is the problem, is that people look at other people and they just assume that they're bad people. And you can't just assume that just because of you don't know the situation. So there's that. This is also from Twitter. Protests for justice seen in all 50 states. Also, it was seen in like New Zealand, in Paris, I think in Italy maybe. All around the world, people have been protesting for what's going on with the United States. And I think that's beautiful that not only our whole nation came together, but other nations came together with us to do this. And honestly, I didn't protest because I'm a mother and I need to make sure I can take care of my children, and I don't want to get trampled or anything. If anything happens to me, my children they need me, and I'm not going to go out of my way to have somebody watch them so I can put myself in danger. If I was, didn't have any children, I probably would have participated in some of the protests, but I would have left when the riots started. But that's just my take on that. So this is from Joe Biden's Twitter. As we know, he is fighting for his chance to become the next president, so he's probably going to say anything right now because this looks terrible for Trump. But more on that later. So Joe Biden said he's using the American military against the American people. He tear gassed peaceful protesters and fired rubber bullets. For our photo, for our children, for the very soul of our country, we must defeat him. But I mean it when I say this. We can only do it together. So what he's referring to is there was a protest going on, and I believe it was in Washington, and it was a peaceful protest. There was no rioting at all. And so Trump had taken military action and tear gas and shot these people with rubber bullets so he could stand in front of a church that had been firebombed the day before, and he took a picture holding up a Bible like this. Not next to his chest, not reading it, holding it up like this. Kind of just like a prop. And the bishop of the church actually spoke on this. I don't have that exact tweet. I can't find it. If it's in here somewhere, I will talk about it and quote him. But pretty much what he says is, it was from the news. That's right. I saw it on the news. See, it's a good thing I watched the news. So on the news, they had quoted him, and he had said he was very disappointed that the president would do this and use his church as a prop just to get some media coverage. And I agree with him. It's sad, and that shouldn't have happened. So this is another meme. It says, I ain't seen a COVID post in 3 damn days. And it's a picture of Kid Rock. So if you have ever listened to Whiskey Lullaby, I believe Chris Rock sings part of that. But it relates to the lyrics with the song. You'd have to listen to it. Anyway, probably went over all of your heads because you're probably all way too young. Anyway, moving on. Green Bay City's Council voted Tuesday to extend the city's curfew to Monday morning, June 8th. I already mentioned this. So Country USA and Rock USA has been closed. Your tickets, campsites, VIP seats, and any other item for 2020 will be valid for the 2021 festivals. So I'm guessing they're either going to give refunds or vouchers to people so that you can keep your spot where you were with your tickets and things like that. So this was June 3rd. Okay, I got this right. So this was Wednesday at 2:15 p.m. Derek Chauvin now faces second-degree unintentional murder and 3 other officers charged. Now, I know a lot of people want him to be charged with first-degree murder, but you have to understand, and I may have mentioned this before, if you're charged with first-degree murder, that means that you took the time to plan out the murder and it was premeditated. Second-degree homicide means this was not planned, it just happened, and you may have meant harm on the person, but you didn't mean to kill them. So we can't, it kind of falls in this gray area because we know he had intentions to kill Floyd because he didn't get up when he said, "You're going to kill me. I can't breathe." But I have a feeling with the second degree, it's more likely for the charges to stick. But we have yet to see any cops really be charged. There's so many cops that get off on these charges and they just walk and they get to go back to their job. And that's just it. And it's really sad. And I don't want to see that anymore. I want these officers, all 4 of them, I want them in prison. And I want them in prison for life with no chance of parole. Do not give them the death penalty because you know what? They don't deserve it. Let them sit in there like the criminals that they fucking are around all the other criminals that hate cops and let them treat them like hell for the rest of their fucking life. That's what you get for taking a person's life, and that's what the other 3 get for sitting there and watching him take somebody's life because that shit was fucking horrible. And you know what? I haven't watched the video because I don't have the heart to do it. I've seen pictures, I've heard audio, but I cannot watch that video or I will cry. I'm sorry, I have a heart. I don't know how these people didn't jump in and stop this from happening. Somebody should have did something. Even if you go to jail, you could argue, I was trying to save another human being's life. You could have helped him. I couldn't because I wasn't there. But if you were recording that, you could have helped him and you're part of the problem. I just feel really strongly about that. Sorry. Okay, so I do have the full story on the charges. Let me see. So here's the other officer names. Tao Thao, Thomas Lane, and J. Alexander Kueng. It's Kueng. They face aiding and abetting second-degree unintentional murder as well as aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. So pretty much the charges that they have, what that means is whatever Chauvin did, they let it happen and knew it was happening and they didn't stop him when they should have. So that's pretty much what that means, but that's exactly what happened. So I'm very happy that the DA did go ahead and decide to prosecute all of them, and hopefully these charges stick and these fuckers rot in prison because that's what they need. Also, I did learn through the grapevine that Chauvin has been put on suicide watch, probably to keep him safe against everything going on. But this is just another change that needs to happen, is this police officer should get thrown right into the general population of the jail, just like all the other criminals that get put in there before they're put wherever they're supposed to go within the jail. Put him in there with all of them, because you know what? That's what he fucking deserves. I can't believe it. So they're going to put this guy in a cell suicide watch pretty much means he has a camera on him all the time. He's in a cell all by himself. He's not around the general population in the jail. So just because he's in the jail doesn't mean he's around any of the other criminals. This is to protect him. And they say this as a suicide watch in a way so that you don't think that they're trying to protect him against others, but that's really what they're doing. Because do you really think this cop wants to kill himself? I don't think so, because I think he knows he's going to get off on these charges. That's what I think, and that's why we need everything to start changing. Okay, in regards to Chavin's upgraded charge, Minnesota sentencing guidelines indicate two different possibilities for unintentional second-degree murder and unintentional second-degree murder. The former sentencing guideline calls for, upon conviction, 25.5 years in prison, whereas the latter, which would be intentional second-degree murder, would be 25.5 years, and unintentional would be 12.5 years. Attorney Eric Nelson of Hallberg Criminal Defense will be representing Chavin. So, court attorney Mike Freeman, or it's Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman did speak about this. He said, I quote, "I believe the evidence available to us now supports stronger the charge of second-degree murder," Ellison said. On the other officers being charged, Ellison said, "I strongly believe that these developments are in the interest of justice for Mr. Floyd, his family, our community, and our state." Ellison said not much more information on the case will be released as the investigation continues, but that officials are pursuing justice by all legal and ethical means available. Ellison said a conviction will be hard, but he cited Freeman's record of being the only county attorney to convict a police officer. All right, so this is something that nobody was really talking about, but I'm kind of freaking out about it, and I didn't forget about it, and I'm not going to forget about it. I'm going to keep watching this story because you know what? This is important, and this is why SpaceX is up there right now at the ISS. This is the real reason why they're up there. They said they were going to be doing experiments. I knew there was more to this, but I didn't know exactly what it was, and I knew eventually it would come out, but I was like, it's got to be something because the International Space Station is for all the countries around the world. So any of them can go up there. If they're all conducting experiments together, something is threatening the Earth. Or they wouldn't be doing that. We would all be doing our own independent studies and then coming back together later to talk about them. Something like that. You know what I mean? So it says stadium-sized asteroid to make relatively close approach toward Earth at 3 million miles. NASA is keeping tabs on a massive asteroid that's coming closer to Earth each day. The space agency's website has an asteroid watch section showing the next 5 approaches, which are expected in the next few days. That's all I really have on that, but I will keep following that story and see if there's anything else I can figure out. But that is why the Dragon shuttle is at the International Space Station, I believe. So those are just my thoughts on that. But at least my conspiracy theory makes sense, honey. Come on. Get it together. We already talked about that. So Calumet Ave in Appleton was shut down yesterday. And it looks like what they used were big slabs of rock, like you would see for almost like building material. Like I'm talking about slabs like as big as and long, like as tall as me, and if I were to lay down sideways, like as long as me. So pretty much no cars could drive through this. You can't ram through it. You can't jump over it. It's way too tall. And I have a feeling they closed that down due to protests happening around the area. But I haven't really seen much on the news about Appleton. I do know they had peaceful protests there, and they had a successful conference with some government officials there to talk about change for their city. So Okay, so this was from yesterday, from Thursday, and I found this very disheartening. Um, and I really can't believe the audacity of some of these officers, how cocky they're getting. But let me just read you this. Asheville police surrounds a medic station created by protesters as they stab water bottles with knives and tip over tables of medical supplies and food. Oh, this is actually from Tuesday, June 2nd. The medic team, made of EMTs and doctors, said the medical station was approved by the city. Edit. They also sprayed the medical supplies with gas so anyone that used them would get chemical burns. So you may be wondering, what is the reason for this medic station? Well, it's there in case anybody gets hurt during a riot. Duh. That's exactly what it's there for. So what the police were trying to do pretty much was say, well, if you're going to have a protest, it's going to end up in a riot anyway, so we're going to take away all your medical supplies. So if you get hurt, you're really hurt. That's what I'm gathering from this. This was not fact-checked, but it's from weather.com. So, but then again, all these media outlets, we know how unreliable they can be, right? Putin declares a state of emergency in Russia after tens of thousands of gallons of diesel fuel leaked into a river in the Arctic Circle. Could take a decade to clean up. What else could 2020 possibly throw at us? So that's very sad. But that's why gas went back up, I guess. So this is on Twitter, and this is from Disneyland's Twitter. So, you know, everybody loves Disneyland. It's a place for kids. I haven't seen any like political stunts by them, any political views by them. Most of what you see on their page is happy, fun times, things like that. You know what I mean? And then they tweeted this. The only blue life that matters is Stitch. So they are very anti-cop. In case you didn't know, if you go to Disneyland, and Disney World, they have their own security, but they do not have the police. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but if you've ever been to either one, pay attention because they have their own security, and that is for a reason. I have seen incidents happen at Disney World, and they did not call the state police. They called their own security. So they are very anti-cop, and I did not know that, but now that makes sense. Okay, so I have this video. It's on my Twitter. I want to show it to you, but before I do that, I have to warn you. This video is very graphic and it gets very sad. So this is what happened. This says, Buffalo's police commissioner orders immediate internal affairs investigation into this incident. 2 officers shoving an elderly man who walked up to them to the ground. News for Buffalo reports the man suffered a laceration and possible concussion. So I'm going to go on my Twitter. If you don't have my Twitter and you would like it, it's at Smalls with a Z, Steffi, Stefe. Otherwise, you can just send me a DM on Facebook and I will get back to you. So I'm going to go here. So let me see if I can get. Okay. So this is the man right here. I want you to watch him and watch what happens. Can I turn this? I can. Okay. So watch this man right here. Watch. Keep watching. So that's pretty much that. You can't really see, if you watch the video on my Twitter, you can actually see that he is bleeding out of his head, but you can't see it on this video because it's too far away. But if you want to go on my Twitter and see it, this is actually came from, the video that I watched it from was from Jeffree Star's Twitter. So if you're not familiar with him, he's one of my favorite beauty gurus that I follow, and I saw that he posted this, and that's where I reposted it from. Trump visit backlash. Jonathan Karl reports on backlash against President Trump for a church photo op near the White House with Attorney General William Barr, who we just love him, don't we, ordering peaceful protesters cleared, and many religious leaders and lawmakers are speaking out. So we have seen this on the news everywhere, and governors are just coming for him. They are snatching his wig, honey. Oh my God. If you want to see a read, they are reading this man straight from the dictionary, honey. Trump is not in a good place. And some of the stuff that he says, he doesn't bring people together. He kind of like splits them apart. I really wish he would just shut his fucking mouth and not say anything. Trump is one of those people that he needs somebody to speak for him, like they were doing those news conferences before. He needs somebody to speak for him because he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. He has no filter, and it's terrible. New zoo in Swamico to reopen June 10th. That is next Wednesday. And then this is my weenie of the week, aside from Mr. Chauvin, who I think is going to stay my weenie of the week until somebody kills him. But anyway, I do have a weenie of the week for you guys. It's a very sad story, but I have the whole story. Father arrested in killings of Kakana children. So this is Matthew Byer. This is what he looks like. In Allegheny County Jail. So here's the story. The biological father of 2 children who were found dead in Kakana home in February is facing homicide charges in the case, according to Kakana police. Matthew Byer of Manitowoc is in custody for the deaths of William Byer, 5, and Daniel Byer, 3. Oh, they were so young. Police announced Friday morning that Matthew Byer, 35, was booked into the Allegheny County Jail. Jail records show he was booked in at 7:18 a.m. Police are recommending 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide to the Allegheny County District's Attorney Office. Police say more information will be released in a criminal complaint. The DA's office tells Action 2 News that Byer will not be making a court appearance this Friday. Police say that the Byer children were found in a duplex on the 1200 block of Crooks Ave on February 17th. They had what police described as intentionally inflicted injuries. Investigators have never released information on the exact cause of death. Someone made a 911 call from inside the home reporting the children were in need of help. Police have not said who made that call. We want to thank the community for their cooperation and patience during this investigation of this incident, reads a statement from the Kakana Police Department. In March, Matthew Byer started a GoFundMe for burial expenses for the children. The fundraiser was closed after raising $100. So the saddest part of that story, not only is their age, but that this man was such a fucking psychopath. He created a GoFundMe for his kids that he killed to try to get money off of their deaths. That is fucking horrible, man. He's right up there with Chauvin. They're both fucking terrible. Like, I can't with people, man. I mean, and to kill your own children? Why wouldn't you give them up for adoption? Oh my God. Like, you have nothing to benefit from killing a child. That child is not going to do anything to you. I mean, my kids put me through hell every day, man. I step on Legos all the fucking time. I find food under the couch that's old. I've had to deal with some incidents where the neighbors have been very upset with me for things my children have done that I did not see and didn't know happened. But I would never hurt my children. Like, come on, man. Give them to a family member or somebody that's going to care about them. I can't with shit like that. It's so sad. And last week we had that lady who killed her son. Like, I still couldn't believe it. After he swam out of the canal and survived, she throws him back in again. Like, some people out there are just terrible, and I can't. I just fucking can't. But anyway, that is all I have for this week. Before I forget, you might see it peeking out back there, but we do have a little pool. So I was able to get the kids a pool. Wasn't what I wanted, but I got them one. So anyway, that's the end of the video. If you guys liked it, leave it a like. If you're new, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next week's vlog. Bye, everybody.